we went to the 50% off everything sale at Salvation Army today. Only we didn't know it was 50% off everything till we got there. And we go to Salvation Army maybe once or twice a month. Usually on Friday, because on Friday they have 75% off certain tags, certain colored tags sale on Fridays. But yeah, we stopped in and I saw this. Did I mention 50% off everything in the store sale? I saw this after I looked at what I normally do, clothes and pots and pans and miscellaneous stuff. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw this. Oh, it's a nice old case. But it's not a case. It has an old tag on it. And what it is something I have a real fondness for, and that's these old chainsaws. The old Carlton saw chain. It's marked 116.78. Now, how they came up with 116.78, that's beyond me. That's what they came up with as a price. So I Googled it real quick. This Homelight chainsaw. Look at that. That's an old grease gun. That's a very old grease gun, or chainsaw bar greaser, I should say. Yeah. And it works too, I think. Yeah, it works. Look at that. I'll be darned. Yeah. See that 116.78? And right away I noticed that it had a little crack in it, right like that. I pulled the cord to check the compression. They're not really sure if it works or not, but it's a Super XL automatic. I think they were built in the early 60s. It's a guess. But you can see it doesn't have a chain brake or anything like that, like the modern ones have. But what I like about it is it's all cast, it's all steel, and it doesn't seem cheap. Everything seems really well made, like they used to make in those days. So while I was at the store looking at this, I guess Salvation Army's a store, right? I Googled it real quick, you know, keeping guard over it while I'm Googling. Just kidding, there was nobody there. And I saw an older beat up used one, worse shape than this, on eBay. In fact, there was several of them on there for between $300 and $500, which kind of was a clue to me that it might be a good deal, because I got it for 50% off, so I got it for basically $60. I don't know if it works. I guess we'll find out. I'm going to find out if it works. I'm going to clean it up first. Let's clean this thing up. It looks in pretty decent shape. What size does it take? None of those. Oh, this is 5/8. That was 9/16. Okay, it's a 5/8. Heck, those weren't even on tight. Oh. Those are on pretty loose. Okay. There we go. I'm putting this thing back together again. I think it's clean as it's going to get. Or as clean as I'm going to get it. Now, all I have is 50-to-1 oil, but it's that new synthetic stuff. So that should work. At least just to try it. It shouldn't screw it up. Just to see if it runs. Boy, that isn't very smooth, is it? I got this old ethanol-free 40-to-1 mix. Put a little bit in there. I sharpened the chain on this, but the chain obviously isn't sharp enough. It's just too far gone. This is one I'll save it because it is savable, and I'll put it on the Oregon bench chain sharpener, chainsaw sharpener. But I think this looks like a 20-inch blade. I probably could use, put a new chain on it. See how that works. Well, see if it'll fit or not. We save everything around here. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna fit. Imagine that. Imagine me having a chain that actually fits it. Right here, without having to shop around. Okay, when it's all said and done, this is a great score. This is a vintage home light, Super XL automatic. This is the oiler. It has a manual oiler on it, the on-off switch, the throttle lock here, the choke. Where you put your oil in here, your gas. I just put 40-to-1 in it, even though it's an old chainsaw. These new oils, synthetic oils, it doesn't matter. I'd use 50-to-1 with this all day, every day too. That's just me. That's just me. Some hardcore older people, older than myself, let's just say, even though I'm a senior citizen, would never think of doing that, but they do. Here's the chain tensioner down here, right? I just discovered this after I, of course, fooled around with tightening the chain by pulling the bar out. But I just noticed that there's the chain tensioner right there. This thing has got very little wear at all on it. Very little wear. It has a little, looks like a little crack in the cover there. But heck, it's even got the original lot number. It's made in USA in Charlotte, North Carolina. Look at that. It's got the original sticker on it. This thing has seen very little use. Very little use. And it's all made of steel. None of this plastic crap, like I said, you get in chainsaws nowadays. You know, the end was all burned up here because they were running the piss out of it, obviously, with a dull chain. But I kind of buffed that out with the angle grinder and a wire wheel. This like I said, this is a pretty good score. I'm not going to use it. This is a wall hanger. A wall hanger that I could say it works in case of emergency. Maybe I'll put it behind glass break in case of emergency. But this is a nice looking saw, don't you think? I've priced these, like I said, anywhere between, I've seen them, and I just at a glance, mind you, I'm not gonna be real anal about looking at it, but just at a glance, I've seen these in worse shape than this, far worse shape than this, for anywhere from between $200 and $500. And a couple of those weren't even working, so I don't know. This is going to be a nice little wall hanger. I really like it. It doesn't have a handbrake or a chain brake on it. They didn't have those in those days. I don't like it doesn't have a guard either. Usually they have one or the other. Usually they have a guard, or maybe it's just missing. I don't know, but you saw it works well. Put a new chain on it. This is a new Oregon chain, so they're readily available. Will you just look at that? How about that, guys? Let me show you my vintage chainsaw collection real quick. This is a Lombard, but I know nothing about it. I know absolutely nothing about it. I know that I got this on Craigslist for free. You know, it was on Craigslist free, you know? And it still has, I mean, it's been sitting obviously gathering dust where I had it. But it's pretty pristine condition too. This runs, I ran it just to make sure it runs, and it runs pretty good. It has the electronic ignition and automatic oiling system, although it has a manual oiling system here too. And it looks pretty much the same as the Homelight as far as these features are concerned, including the chain adjuster over here. So I would say that was a score. Somebody wanted to remind themselves that it's hot here. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. But that's in almost mint condition there, and like I said, I know that works. And then I have this old Poland. This is back when Poland made great chainsaws. Now, I'm not saying that Poland doesn't make great chainsaws today. They make disposable chainsaws today. Let's just say you can buy a Poland chainsaw at Harbor Freight for like $150. And if you live in the city and you have you're a weekender, let's just say, or you just need a chainsaw every once in a while for camping or whatever, that's the way to go. I mean, you don't need a big fancy chainsaw, right? You could just, you're using it every once in a while, you're good to go with a Poland. But I think these older chainsaws here, like, there's no plastic on any of these. These are all steel. All three of these are steel. All three work great. And they were built to last in the day. This has got the nice hand guard on it. I wish these others had. I guess I shouldn't say that because I'm really not going to use them. These are back in the day where people cut themselves every once in a while. That was how they learned how to use it. They'd get a nice little cut. At least that's what I'm told. But anyway, this is my vintage chainsaw collection thus far. I do have some wall hangers that they're hanging on the wall. You know, they work or they don't work. I don't know. These I know work, which is pretty cool. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys. My latest pickup, $60. Can't beat it. See y'all later. And this is something that you really don't see when you get lucky enough to be able to pick up one of these. a really old case like this. See that? I think that's a plus.